in the Quran are those equal, those who know and those who do not know. Well, friends, we are right now witnessing the fourth industrial revolution, which is here all around us. Before we go to understand the power of books in this age, we need to understand what is the fourth industrial revolution is about and why you should care about it. Digital revolution, the digital age means the age when machines become better than human beings, when machine get capability and ability to replace human beings, and machine perform better than human beings. There is a Moore's law, which is not a law of the land, but a prediction made in 1965 by Gordon Moore, the co-founder of Intel. He projected that every 2 years or so, the processing power of computer would double. In his book, The Singularity is Near, Ray Kurzweil gives a practical illustration of the future consequences of Moore's law that by 2020, the average desktop computer will have the same processing power as the human brain. By 2050, according to Kurzweil, the average desktop machine will have more processing power than all of humanity combined. This is what you need to know and understand, that what is going on around you and where do we stand today. This means, as Richard Susskind says in his book Tomorrow's Lawyer, that technology will radically alter all corners of our economy and society. By 2025, 12 disruptive technologies would make an impact around the world, and it is suggested that they would generate revenue of around $100 trillion. So today we stand on the brink of a technological revolution where advanced robotics, cloud, 3D printing, autonomous and near autonomous vehicles, next generation genomics, energy storage, mobile internet, automation of knowledge work, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and etc. are the major sources of global economic output. This is the digital revolution, the fourth industrial revolution. So, what opportunities this revolution has brought for us? Sorry. It's the bright side of this revolution is that more than 4 billion people have access to handheld devices that possess more computing power than the NASA used to send 2 people to the moon. Mobile phone. This means that you have access to all the modern tools on your mobile phone to make money, to generate funds, to create impact while sitting in your home. This is the revolution and the opportunity which was never witnessed by human history ever before. So we are the luckiest people of the human history who have got this opportunity through this digital revolution. Today, we can learn from the world's best teachers free of cost by using flipped learning. Hundreds and thousands of world-class lectures are available in your subjects in many websites. I have referred one of the websites we are using in Pakistan. You can see hundreds and thousands of world-class lectures free of cost available. You can drive a car just by your thought control. Imagine A blind person can see with his tongue using a brain port 5100 technology. Even language is no more a barrier. You can use in-ear device to translate the voice for you. E-textile, your clothes can change the colors. 3D, houses can be printed in 3 to 4 hours only. So these are the opportunities which this revolution has brought for us. Yes, on financial side, on economic side, you are now able to generate money, to make money through your mobile phone by using uh, uh, forex apps, by using e-commerce apps. Even only in one subject, digital marketing. I'm sorry, can you please mute your mic? Okay. Even one subject, the digital marketing offers 72 skills. You can just master in one skill and can start making money through your mobile phone. You can start with $1, $10 by investing in the international market of forex, of commodities and money, currencies. So Google, but on the other side, it brings many threats for the human beings. And one of them is that it's a winner takes all economy, where high skilled workers are rewarded with high pay and rest of the workers are left out. This is exactly what all first three revolutions have done with the humanity. The highly skilled and knowledge based societies were rewarded, and the rest were left out. Google's virtual assistant is able to speak and respond to questions exactly like a human. Google's DeepMind has superhuman intelligence. Amongst many other capabilities, it can beat the world's best video game players, detect diseases, and leopard better than any other human. So it has the capacity to replace human beings. So Google has developed a quantum computer that is 100 million times faster than a normal computer. IBM Watson artificial intelligence is a software. It was predicted in 1995 by Richard Susskind in his book End of Lawyers that in 50 years, majority of the legal professionals would left out because of the technological revolution. And today we can witness that IBM Watson has challenging legal professionals. It is more efficient than a human lawyer. It performs better. It gives better advice with more accuracy. So it is suggested that in coming years, in 10 to 15 years, 80 major professions would disappear. 80 major professions. So in this age of digital transformation, who is going to move forward? If you have an idea about what the first, second, and third industrial revolutions did with humanity, then you can understand what this revolution is going to do. Because in this age, knowledge has become the key driver of the socio-economic development, and natural sources have the diminishing importance. Knowledge and ideas and human thoughts have attained the status of product. So today, knowledge is the new money. So the real gap. I have read the one of the ayahs of Holy Quran in beginning, that one who knows and one who does not cannot be equal. This was what revealed in a report published by World Bank, that the real gap between rich nations and poor nations was the gap of knowledge. Rich nations had more readers. Rich nations had more libraries. Rich nations had well established reading culture, and rich nations have well established library systems. But poor nations did not invest on human capital to enhance, to increase their mental capabilities. This was the major difference revealed by the World Bank in 1998 between developed nations and developing nations. In another report, the World Bank in 2008 states regarding knowledge economy that for centuries in the vanguard of the world economy, knowledge has become perhaps the most important factor determining the standard of living, more than land, than tools, than labor. Today's most technically advanced economies are truly knowledge based. It refers, this report, to the use of knowledge technologies to produce economic benefits. The essential difference is that knowledge in today's age, knowledge is a product. In knowledge based economy, knowledge is a tool. And in this way, a brain attains a status of resource. Ideas and thoughts are considered the products, and human capital and competencies are a key component of value in this age. So developing countries differ from developed countries not only because they have less wealth and capital, but because they have less knowledge. On the other hand, United States dominated the world because 45 out of 50 regions with best knowledge base in the world were situated in the Americas. I'm sorry, Mr. Sen, you need to mute yourself, please. Okay, host, please. Okay, can I continue? Okay, am I audible, host? Okay, thank you. So, yeah, I was talking about World Bank report. Report. So, in this age, the countries that have invested on human capital, on enhancing competencies of individuals, have progressed. Singapore, for example, despite being a very small country, is spending $330 billion on knowledge economy. Similarly, China, which could only send 870 students for PhD in 1978, gradually increased this number and later sent 600,000 students to the USA for higher studies on scholarships. Out of these 6 lakh scholars, 150,000 students came back to China and started doing research and brought China where we see it today. Library, for example, public libraries have been called the great source of self-learning and vital means of attaining the excellence in knowledge economy. According to IFLA, which is the International Federation of Libraries Association, there should be one public library for every 3,000 people. And by the end of 2000s, Russia had 64,000 libraries, making it the country with largest number of libraries in the world. There are countries in Europe which has a library after every 1.5 kilometers. 70% of population of Norway live within 3 kilometers of a library. I will share some very interesting facts with you today, very soon. So the modern economies are those who are leading in book publishing, book reading, book writing, and knowledge-based activities. The whole Muslim world is under crisis in the field of knowledge. In Egypt, only 300 titles published annually, where in Israel, more than 4,500 titles are published every year. In UK claims that they have the highest book publishing country of the world. In 2006, the number of new titles of book reached 200,000. In America, the number is 172,000 new titles in the same year. So I will share some videos now to understand where the modern world stands and where the developing world stand in the field of reading, writing, publishing, and book reading. So you can understand and differentiate the two nations. So this is a video about Americas. These videos are available on our YouTube channel of Read Pakistan. I have shared some of those videos here. Okay. Iceland. Finland. So, uh, I have shared one of the best nations, the most peaceful nations having the highest quality of life, standard of life, and the reading trend and rates in those societies. So it is very critical to understand that what benefits reading offer and how what link it has with human development, especially in this digital age. When you understand this, you would be able to make Gambia a great nation, I believe. If you are able to launch a movement in your countries to have more bookstores, to have more libraries, and have more people reading books, we can guarantee a great future to Gambian nation. So here are some benefits reading offer. It increases intelligence, makes you empathetic, increase knowledge and expands vision, develops analytical skills, improves memory, improves focus and concentration. It helps you to be more flexible and open-minded, improves relationships. It boosts creativity, Reading books improves brain connectivity. It forms, it is said that it forms new mental associations. It increases vocabulary and comprehension. It empowers you to empathize with other people. It aids in sleep readiness. It reduces stress. It lowers blood pressure and heart rate. It fights depression symptoms. It prevents cognitive decline as you age. It boosts sleep, improves inner peace and tranquility, and it contributes to a longer life. This is all well established and well documented fact. I am not referring the original links and posts. You can just Google and you will find the evidence, the benefits reading offer. So there is a documentary available on YouTube. This documentary is the name of the documentary is Why Reading Matters. It is by BBC. It's a very interesting video. You must watch to understand how books and reading works for you to change your life. They have shown evidence that when you are reading books, your brain starts working. The cells in your brains start working. They have experiments that one of different on different people. One has to read every day. One has to read a book after a week. One has to read a book after a month, and one has not to read any book during the month. So they are scanning the brains of each participant, respondent, and at the end of the month, they notice that the brain functioning of the one who was reading every day was much better than the person who was not reading any book. There are many other interesting things and facts you will come to know that how reading works for you, for an individual, and for a nation. So, books contribute and help to make us better persons. So, when a big number and a larger number of our society is involved in reading connectivity, this society has potential to become more creative, more energetic, more peaceful than others who are not engaged in reading activity. So, so there is a law of integrative complexity. Integrative complexity is a term used in psychology. It has been used by the Brian Tracy. He's one of the motivational speakers, leading motivational speakers in the United States. He has written more than 32 books. He speaks to more than 200,000 people each year, and he has a great impact on Americans, youth especially. So he writes about science of achievement, the individual success. So he has shared this as a law of success, the law of integrative complexity, which means continuous learning is the minimum requirement for success in any field. He says that the individual who can integrate and use the greatest amount of information in any field soon arises to the top of that field. Sorry. So experts like Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, who writes and talks about individual success and self-help, they emphasize on reading 15 minutes a day. They call it the 1000% success formula. It is very interesting formula, very important, and very critical for you to understand. Brian Tracy writes in his book, Create Your Own Future, that this works like a magic. It never fails. It guarantees you a better life. How? When you read 15 minutes a day, it means you will read uh, one book per week, four books per month, and approximately 50 books a year, which means a PhD has to read a PhD has to read approximately 48 to 50 books per year to complete PhD degree. So when you read 15 minutes a day in your profession, you are able to have knowledge equal to a PhD person. He says that if you continue this practice for 3 years and you do not do any other thing to improve your life, in 3 years, this would able you to raise as an expert in your field at your country level. So, uh, sorry, sorry. So, books. This is called professional reading. Reading in your profession 15 minutes every day. Because books give access to the world's best wisdom and stretches mind past any conceivable horizons. Books are the ultimate form of self education and the ultimate tool for personal empowerment. Every person who finds a book that suits her or his interest takes a firm step into the world of knowledge and learning, and that quickly turns into a lifestyle. Yes. In the pages of book, there's an awakening to be found, which can make life beautiful and meaningful for every reader. I believe that at the moment, the world turns magical. This is my philosophy, my understanding, and my belief. Because I was a common man, striving for personal success, but books changed my mind. The ideas transmitted from books helped me to think about societies, to think about others. Initiatives like Read Pakistan, the beautiful world around you, is the outcome of the ideas transmitted from books throughout the human history. Books have contributed directly to shape human history, to improve human life. For example, Uncle Tom's Cabin is a very popular anti slavery tale which helped to spark the US Civil War. It changed the way Americans think about race. Its effect was amazing and universal. Even nowadays, the name Uncle Tom is used exclusively as a racial insult. You can see we can see in Pakistan on social media people are saying Uncle Tom, Uncle Tom. The another book, Black Beauty, is a children fiction. It changed the way the Western world think about animals and especially horses. It created a greater impact. So the books have ability and capability to change your life to an extent. By reading 15 minutes a day, you can guarantee a a successful life. And by inviting more people, more individuals, your friends, your family members, to engage in this activity of reading for 15 minutes a day can guarantee a better and a greater Gambia, inshallah. Thank you very much. You can ask questions, if any. I have tried my best to make it shorter so I can engage with you through your questions. Yes, please. Yes, Babar Jukao. Jawab. A host, please, can you allow them to unmute their mics?
Apologize. Okay, Alhamdulillah. Mr. Dal,
Yes.
that was a very good presentation and then educative as well. I think now we can open the floor for those who are interested in posting new questions.
Yes, please.
Yes. Will there be anyone among the attendees who is interested, who would be interested in asking something within the topic of discussion? Then the floor is open to ask. I think I can be the first person to raise a question.
Okay, some of them are raising hands, but I think they're unable to.
Yes.
You can, Assalamu alaikum. You can unmute yourself. You can unmute yourselves if you have a question, because you are granted that access to unmute yourselves. But at least let it be one at a time. If not, it will be a bit chaotic. You can raise your hand. If you are granted, then you can, put forward your question. Sure. Babukar Jao. Babukar, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. You're raising your hand. Good. So you can speak now.
Thank you so much, Farrukh, for granting us this opportunity to, ask questions. I must say that it was a very enlightening session anyway. You said in the next how many, according to researches, in the next some years, there will be, is it 15 professions that I just wanted to know how to call my question inside. Should I come in? Fine, no problem.
I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
Abu Bakar Jao, I think it's better you put the question in writing. The network over there on your side, it's not very good. It seems like the line is breaking. So why not you try write it? That will be better. Now, Doctor, I think Mr. Dal, I apologize for saying Doctor over and over. You will want to ask a question. I wanted to know if a person wants to adopt this habit of reading, being consistent with reading, what will be the first step one will take to become a good reader? For instance, I have not been reading for the rest of my life. And then now I want to start, reading books.
Well, this would be a great challenge for you if you do not follow some psychological techniques. To understand this, you need to understand the functioning of your subconscious mind. Because whenever you will try to read, you will start a book, your subconscious mind will resist, and you will stop reading. It happens to everyone who is not a frequent reader. So it 99% of us is invisible. Some of experts have given its name our subconscious mind. Subconscious mind acts like a storeroom. It acts like a store which stores your beliefs, your ideologies, your conceptions, and everything. Whatever you have learned in life, whatever you have adopted in life, it is stored in your subconscious mind. Today, fortunately, we know that we can program our subconscious mind. We can command our subconscious mind to help ourselves to adopt new habits and to get rid of bad habits. So, what you need to do is to command yourself, to give commandment, regular commandment to your subconscious mind by some repeated words every day. Like there are many experiments and many, you can say, opinions by different psychologists available in different books of psychology. What I did, I used a counter which in Pakistan we used to use, our religious community use for tasbihat, zikr Allah, like Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. So I bought a counter. I wrote a sentence of commandment like read every day. You need 3 to 4 words for your subconscious mind. You can repeat it loudly or silently, but better, it works better if you repeat it loudly. What you will do, you can, I started counting 100 times in morning and 100 times in evening before I slept. The first thing in morning I was doing was the commandment read every day, loudly. It helped me to adopt this reading habit in uh, 17 or 18 days. So it is well tested psychological method. It works for you. And other option is that you can write down. First thing in the morning, write it down for 10 times. Read every day, read every day, read every day. Repeat the same words and use commandment method. Command it. Give it command, read every day, 10 times. And then 10 times in the evening before you sleep. So it will work for you. It's very, very tested method. The other simple technique is that start reading the literature of your choice. If you love fiction, if you love uh, anything you like to read, start from it. And then you can continue this practice by shifting it to the literature of your need. Remember that player reading is great thing. It will help you definitely to become a better and greater person. But you need to read uh, about your profession, the knowledge, contemporary knowledge related to your profession. Fortunately, today we have more than 300 million free books available on internet. 300 million. It is estimated that there are some 12 billion total number of books available in libraries throughout the globe, out of which Google has digitized some 2 billion books, and those books are available on Google Books. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. On pdf.net, you can access more than 200 million books free of cost. This is a wonderful opportunity offered by this digital revolution. Now it is up to us. How do we utilize this opportunity? How do we discipline ourselves to read every day? Yes, I am sharing the most powerful principle of human success. This was my job. I have done this job. Now it is you who has to execute this, to discipline yourself, to control yourself, to make yourself bound by this discipline to read every day. It doesn't matter if you read an ebook, if you read a paper book, but it would be great if you read paper book, because paper books connects you with the writer. It helps you to establish a link and connection with the book. It performs better than a book to make you a lifelong learner and a reader. But important is that you have to start reading today. Only 15 minutes will change your life forever. Trust me. Only 15 days. Brian Tracy says that I have shared the 1000% success formula of Brian Tracy. He says that in last 40 years, I have received thousands of emails, telegrams, and messages of people who attended my seminars, who wrote my books, read my books. None of them ever said that this formula did not work for me, that I started reading 15 minutes a day in my profession, but nothing happened. It works 1000% for you. But rest is up to you. If you don't start reading, you will very soon you will become irrelevant. Reason: in each branch of knowledge, the amount of knowledge becomes double in 3 years. It doubles in 3 years. So, if you do not read when you are graduated, for example, in your profession, you don't read, after 3 years, your knowledge is outdated because the amount of knowledge has been doubled in your profession. And if you continue for 5 years without reading a book, you will be replaced by someone who is who is a reader, who knows more than you. You know why Nokia failed? Because they were unable to understand the dynamics and unable to understand the competition they had. They failed miserably. Knowledge leaders leading the companies with more equipped with the modern knowledge replaced them. So the knowledge societies, the reading societies will prevail in this digital revolution. Americans have 89% reading rate, which means Americans read. Sorry, yes, please.
Joe, unmute yourself.
Javo. So modern societies are developed because they have a much bigger number of readers than yours. 89% of Americans read at least one book in the year 2014. 91% of Icelanders read at least one book in the year 2017. Uh, average American, an average American reads 12 books a year. Uh, there is a sociologist, her name is Griswold. In her book, she says, Originalism and the Reading Class, she says that since 2 centuries, there is a reading class in the United States. She defines reading class as a class which reads 50 books a year. 20% of American population reads 50 books a year, and they have maintained this culture since 2 centuries. Similar statistics you can find about the whole developed world. On the other hand, in the developing world, you can see no bookstores. I have visited Gambia, Surikunda. I hadn't seen any good bookstore. In the whole Africa, there are lack of libraries. In Asia, there is no culture of libraries. Even in Pakistan, we don't have good libraries. China, in 1949, when they got freedom, they had 50 libraries only. In 1980s, they established and built 300,000 libraries for their society because they realized their society is not progressing. They need new thoughts, new knowledge, contemporary knowledge. They started establishing libraries. Today, China has 600,000 libraries, including 16,000 digital libraries. America started building libraries in the early 19th century. Same is the case with the rest of the Europe, rich economies in Europe. So the nations which established libraries, all of them progressed. The nations which ignored the power of books, the power of knowledge, suffered, and they will continue suffering, including yours, including all other nations in the developing world. So the first and the most important, I can say, the principle and the law of the human development is continuous learning, continuous, never-ending learning, which Islam has emphasized. To read every day. So this is the real dilemma the Muslim world is facing, and the real malaise the Muslim world is facing. No focus on education, no focus, no interest in libraries, no demand by societies to establish libraries, no good bookstores, no reading culture, no family reading, no bedtime story reading culture. And the rest of the modern world has all these traditions alive. They are the nations of readers. So this is the main difference. So as individual, your first responsibility is to start reading today and encourage your friends, your family members to start reading from today. You will see a change, a positive change in your life, in your society, when you are able to create more readers in your society. By making Gambia a knowledge society, this would be the first and the most revolutionary step you can take and you can do for your society. In Pakistan, when we started Read Pakistan, there was no debate in country about this crisis. Only 9% Pakistanis are keen readers. Only 9%. No one was talking about. We started this initiative. Today, we are the world's largest network of literary youth who read books every month. One book, 1 month. The youth associated with our book clubs. You can do the same in your country. I have tried to convince your leadership when I was in Gambia. I have signed an MOU with the University of Gambia. I have submitted an MOU to the International Open University. No response. This was all about starting a reading competition, reading 50 books a year competition. I invited them to engage their students in competition to win international award. University of Gambia signed an MOU, but
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think uh, the session has come to its end. And I believe those of us who were able to hear him clearly had harvested some benefits, and then could probably take up the habit and the lifestyle of reading books, whether they're e-books or physical books. And then the best of all those books, obviously, is the Quran itself. I thank you once again for joining the session. And then I think there are others who are raising their hands still. Mr. Dal has already made his presentation, and then now he's out of the platform. If those questions that are meant to be asked out for Dal, then at this moment it is late. But if it's a contribution for the rest of us to benefit from, then I will unmute or mute my mic now, and then one of you whose hands are up can comment what they want to say. Yes, Suleiman, you wanted to say something?
Yes, how are you? Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, I have learned a lot from this meeting.
Alhamdulillah.
I believe all of us that have that we are fortunate to attend the meeting have learned a lot.
Alhamdulillah.
The problem of our society, particularly Gambia and in large the Muslim Ummah,
Yes.
is the problem of lacking the habit of reading. I believe when we have the habit of reading, we can make a significant change in our societies. So I believe all of us will have change, will have adopt a positive habit, a positive mind to have or to adopt the habit of reading, which I believe will pay a dividend to all of us. Wassalam.
Thank you, Suleiman, for your contribution. And what you have said, it's right. That's the truth. And we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us and give us the habit and then the qualities and the attributes of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his sahabas, and make us among those who will be in the habit of reading, especially the books that are related to the deen. Thank you so very much for your contribution. So in case that we don't have any other person to contribute, I think this is a good point to stop and then call it a day. Is there any other person who would want to make a contribution? Bokar Yao, your hand is up. And then we have is it Sam Tito? Yes, you may please unmute your mics and then say what you will want to say. If in case we do not have any other person who will want to contribute or show their appreciation or something related to this.
Yes, Kausi.
Yes.
How are you?
We are fine, Alhamdulillah. You wanted to make a contribution regarding what Doctor has presented?
No, I have no contribution. I wanted to ask a question, but the connection was not good from my end.
I think it was nationwide, I believe, because most of many were texting me, telling me find it difficult to connect.
asking that if you can share the recording because I lost that link. So if you can share the recording, it will be good.
Yes, the record. I don't know. If you look at your screen, there's somewhere at the left corner saying recording, and just beside it, you have live. It is highlighted in white, but the background is red. That's the YouTube link. Immediately you click that, it will take you directly to YouTube. And then at YouTube, everything is there. You can choose to download it or you can choose to view it without downloading it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you so very much. I think now it's a good point to conclude everything. The stipulated time has been exhausted, and then Doctor has also left the platform. So with that, I will say Subhanak Allahumma hamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Thank you so very much. And then we look forward to having you the next time. Inshallah Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, Dr. Samsidin Bola Tito from Sudan. We are so sorry that we couldn't hear you. I don't know whether it's a connection there. Uh, can you try to communicate again, or we can't get you?